Welcome back to Robin's Roundup with me, Jake Matho, Sean Fisher, and Tom Langford. Today we're going to go through the club itself and name our favourite 11 of the year, including 5 substitutes and many controversies probably between the three of us. How are we doing, boys?
All right, thanks, mate.
Yeah, it's all good, thanks.
Good. Well, we're going to go through from goalkeeper to striker. We're also going to have a mysterious ground in there to break things up a bit, and then we'll go on to the bench. So we'll start with the goalkeeper. Tom, do you want to just tell us the goalkeepers that we had this year, before we probably give a fairly decisive answer as to who goalkeeper of the year is?
I mean, just chuck me on the spot there, to be honest. Okay, so we've had Greg Hartley, Lloyd Allenson, David Carnell, John Warsnop, and Jonty Cotton.
Yeah,
I think that's all the goalkeepers who played for us this season, which is just like a mental amount of goalkeepers to go through in a year at any level of football.
All right, well, Tom, now given that we're on you, do you want to tell us who our goalkeeper of the year is? I mean, unless anyone disagrees.
I think if anyone disagrees, then they probably shouldn't work for this club anymore. Of course, I've gone for Greg Hartley. I don't know about the rest of you. I'm guessing that's a unanimous decision across the board there.
Yeah, it's hard to leave him out, isn't it?
Yeah, only made 13 appearances in the end, but it was clear from the off the impact that he was going to have on the squad. You know, just the saves he made alone, you could make highlight reels from every game. I think he just brought confidence as well to the back line. You know,
since he came in those 13 games he played, the form of those 13 games was incredible. So exactly. It's hard to leave him out there.
Exactly. There was that correlation between him and obviously, like you said there, that good run. Only kept 3 clean sheets in the end, but I think
clean sheets are something that are hard to come by in this league.
It was a misleading stat, I find, because throughout games, the goals that he did concede usually weren't his fault at all. And I think that number next season's only going to go up.
He's going to, I completely agree with you. I can only echo those words. He's going to, he's made an impact in the games that we have won. He's been the difference because the one that stands out is the Morpeth game, which everyone seems to come to. All the people we've had on the show have said Morpeth was the game of the season for them, the big turning point. That being said, Stafford was beforehand. But that penalty save, it goes under the radar, but it would have been a massively different result, probably.
Yeah,
I've completely contradicted myself, but it would have been a massively different result.
Even just seeing out games as well, towards the end of the season, the end of the season as it is now. Some of the saves he made just to see games through when we had maybe a 1-goal lead, unbelievable.
Yeah. All right, great. Well, nice to get the easy one out of the way. We're now going to move to right back, which once again, from a biased point of view, maybe I would say is pretty straightforward again. But Sean, do you want to
should we point out as well that we've all gone for a 4-3-3 formation? We kind of felt it was right. Obviously, as Clegg, he's probably played 4-3-3 most of his games.
I think Jody played 4-3 as well for most
exactly.
Of the games,
so just throughout the season, it makes sense to mould it into that, doesn't it?
Well, we said just before we continue, we did say before we recorded this that our idea for this was hypothetically we're in a playoff final. Who do we play? And so we would play 4-3-3, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Just
Master
like
tacticians.
Michael Pegg probably would as well. Yeah, we are.
Get us in charge, eh?
Anyway, go on, Sean.
So starting at right back, I put John Lafudu down. I think he's been one of the key players of the season. He is one of the best players we've seen. Although there's obviously inconsistency and he's missed a few games and injury, whatever. When he has played, his ability to attack down that right is incredible.
Yeah, you can't argue it.
I think that is echoed again with the fact that despite our good form this season, those 2 games he missed, we drew them both.
Yeah.
And that
was a hard position to fill as well whilst he was gone.
It really was. Yeah, it really was. And the Warrington media team, I think it was the Warrington media team, I remember they made a mention when they were there, that right back that tore shreds down the right, when they came to us, they were saying, he's not there. We've done all right there.
It was noticeable, wasn't it, that he wasn't playing?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Tom, anything to add to that?
No, just something I wrote down was that I think he won 2 or 3 Player of the Months, both supporters and Bowling Brewery Player of the Month. So, everyone can see the impact he's had on the squad. Potentially one of the signings of the season, to be honest. He's just been...
second in Tom Langford Man of the Match awards.
Yeah, I've got that wrote down in my notes as well. Second on Tom Langford. Maybe
You've just judged your whole team off that, haven't you?
Yeah. Has Jordan Slew got about 5 then? Like,
We'll move on to that in a bit. Do you want to go left back first, or do you want to just go across the back four?
I reckon we go across the back four. Let's do
All
the two centre backs.
Two centre backs. I'll take this one.
Okay.
I'll just name both of my centre backs that I've decided on. Firstly is Jono Hunt, been there from the start.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's someone that I said in previous episodes, especially the one where we were naming like specific awards. He's someone that feels like he's been here for years when he was signed this season, and it's incredible to think that. And he's come in straight away, taken the armband. I know like it's been given around like with Josh Wilson and stuff, but he's played like a captain at times, he's not taken over from Josh, but like he's complimented him, and you can hear him constantly. He's a leader, and he's definitely improved under Clegg. It's almost like the captaincy being taken from him has motivated him to improve even more.
Yeah.
And then I've gone for Sir Billy Sass-Davis, because as much as there are players that have played this season that have been like good when they've come in, have played really well, like Wilson even at the back, or however, I'm sure he'll fit in somewhere else in the team. Luca Haven, whenever he's been called upon, he might have had the odd iffy game, but he has been consistent, and sometimes he's come up with a goal, and there are other defenders that can like fit in there. However, as soon as Sass-Davis came in, you could tell there was a difference, and in the minority of games that he played, he was a leader. It's mad that he's 19.
It's one of the biggest misses for the rest of the season as well that we don't get him, because obviously we just extended his loan, didn't we? Just as the season ended, so it's a shame we didn't get to see him a bit more, because he was class.
Exactly. Tom, you pulled the face when I said Sass-Davis, so who are your centre-backs?
I've obviously gone Jono Hunt. I think everyone's got Jono Hunt. We could just nail him down. I've got really nothing else to add. I think you covered everything there pretty much on Jono Hunt. I've gone for Josh Wilson. Now,
Right,
wow, okay.
I wonder who's that space enough for.
I've done this so like I can get extra people up front, but I just feel like obviously Billy was immense. Like he is going to play in the Football League. Like I'll happily make a bold prediction like that, because he's quality.
Yeah.
You could see it from the short amount of time he was here. Like you said, it was a shame that we didn't get to see more of him, but he did only play 4 games in the end. So kind of putting him into a team of the season when you've only played 4 games is a little bit hard. So I put Josh Wilson in there just so I can make room up front. And he did play, I think it was about half of his games at the back as well. And when he was called upon to do it, he was fantastic.
First half of the season, didn't he?
100%, yeah. He was fantastic at the back, and to still score the goals as well that the team needed is just immense.
Sean, have you got a different one?
Yeah, I do. Completely.
Right,
Already, we've all gone different routes. So obviously, Jono Hunt's got to be in there for his leadership qualities. But I've partnered him with Luca Havern. I think he's made a lot of appearances, and he come up with some big goals, big towering headers. And I don't think he's been that bad. Obviously, as you said, he's had iffy games, but he's definitely a reliable defender that you can put in there. And again, Billy Sass was very, very close, but similar to Tom, I don't think he quite played enough to cement that starting position.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one to put in, because I feel like we've all got relevant points with what we're saying for this part. However, if we were to come together as a backroom staff to make a team for this playoff final, if we were to decide on who to put back with Jono Hunt. On the one hand, I see, like, if you had your first team, everyone's fit, I think you'd have either Billy Sass or Josh Wilson at the back, wouldn't you, instead of Luca Havern?
Yeah.
So that takes that one out, just like hypothetically speaking. And I'm not saying yours is wrong. I'm just saying, like, we've taken everyone's opinion for centre backs, but now if we're going to group it into one team,
yours is just wrong, Sean.
I'd put Billy Sass in there, but no, just purely because he didn't make enough appearances to judge him on that. But
yeah.
All right. I feel like we'll carry on going through the team, and then once we've finished it, we'll quickly run through what we all agree on as a team.
Okay.
Because there are a few differences. Because like we could do it now, but then it would be a bit confusing later on, because Josh Wilson's already been put in there.
Already, we showed it would be a bad management team.
But it's a good dilemma to have, because at least we have a bit of depth in this position.
Yeah. Options.
Because all 3 of them would do a job, and like there are other players that could slot in there.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's nice. So we'll agree to disagree with that one.
We'll leave it
come
for
back
now.
to it.
We'll leave it for now. Yeah.
So left back, we'll go back to you, Tom. Do you want to start this one? This is going to be a bit of a controversial one, I reckon.
I've gone for Nikki Clay.
Okay.
Made 22 appearances, won the Tom Langford Man of the Match award. He was just consistent when we needed someone there at the start of the season. He was that one player who didn't really drop a clanger. He was just solid. Like, you couldn't really ask any more. And he did keep JP out of the side for a while, even when he started coming back from his injury. It was only when Clegg came in that he kind of wanted to play JP. And obviously, when we spoke to him in the last show as well, he said how much he admires John Pritchard and how much he sees in him. So you can kind of see why Nikki Clay was shown the door. But I think for everything that he did, he just was Mr. Consistent for me. And that's why I put him in at left back.
Your Man of the Match awards would also say.
Yeah, exactly. My Man of the Match awards as well.
Winner of the Tom Langford Man of the Match award.
Oh, it's
5 times he got it. 5 times he got it. And to consider that he only started the season there, was only half the season there. Season wasn't finished, that being said. However, 5 Man of the Match awards just shows how much of an impact he had. Sean, do you agree or do you have a difference in opinion?
I've agreed. I've put Nikki Clay as well. I think beginning half the season when we were struggling, that defence, he put in 7, 8 out of 10s every single week. He didn't really dip in form. He was a consistent performer. And although I think we can all agree JP's got more potential going forwards, Nikki Clay was solid at left back when he played.
Yeah, no, okay. I have nothing to disagree on there. However, I did put John Pritchard in left back. I think, but mainly because the more I've had an impact in like the media, like with the tweeting, and then like that one game I had in commentary and stuff. The time I've been much more like involved with the game itself. John Pritchard's been the left back, and that has been the turn of the year, especially with Tom when we've been following the games. Nikki Clay was quality. Like some of his touches for like balls in the air and stuff, he'd just bring it down. You'd be like, how has he done that? And I remember there was a game right like in the start few months of the season, which Tom and Matt were saying on commentary. They were calling him some sort of workhorse or something. Or he's
athlete.
Do you remember?
Athlete. It was just he
Nikki
got the
Clay,
nickname
athlete.
like athlete.
Yeah, they spent about 10 minutes complimenting.
We could hear him coming through the door, just constantly saying Nikki Clay's an athlete.
And he is. He really is. He's still going. Yeah. He's moved on and he's still playing constantly there. And like he rightfully has a good shout for this team. I've gone for John Pritchard, but you two have both gone for Nikki Clay, so I'm not going to disagree with that. But we'll come back to it again to confirm it. That brings a close to what our goalkeepers and centre backs and left back and right back are. Before we move on to the attacking side, I'm going to take a little break here and give you a little mysterious ground.
Oh, mysterious ground. Whose ground are you? Whose ground are you, baby?
Right, so for those of you that don't know how this game is played, it's been a while since we've done it anyway on this show. I'm going to name a few stats about a ground that is of a team in the league Ashton play in the Northern Premier League. And those stats, well, you're just going to have to guess from them what team it is. And if you can think of what the stadium is, then even better. So I'm going to name a stat each time and we'll see how you get on. We'll then wait until the end of the show and we'll reveal the answer. It's just to give you a bit more time. So the first stat I've got here is that this ground in Ashton's league has the most away goals scored at it. So this team have conceded the most goals at this ground.
Is this season or
this season? Sorry,
okay,
yeah, okay. This season at this ground, this team have conceded the most goals at home.
Right.
In the league. I
think I know it.
Okay. I've got 4 stats here, so we'll do 3 and then I'll add one right at the end just in case anyone needs a clincher.
Oh, we are lucky.
They have got the 3rd worst home record. However, of all the teams to beat them, there are only 3 teams that have come away from this ground with a clean sheet, and that's Stafford, Nantwich, and Warrington. When they've won the game, Stafford, Nantwich, and Warrington are the only teams to have a clean sheet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you. That's really thrown me now.
Yeah, so I'll run over it again, just in case anyone's confused. So the first one is that this team have conceded the most goals at home at this ground. And the second one is they have the 3rd worst home record in the league. And the teams that have beaten them at this ground, there are only 3 that have kept a clean sheet in those victories, and that is Stafford, Nantwich, and Warrington.
Oh my! You threw me right there, mate. Threw me
Yeah.
right off. Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm going to leave it at that, just because I feel like the other 2 are a little bit of a giveaway. And I feel like if people can have a little guess, have a little think, we'll come back to it at the end. I'll give you the extra one, and maybe that'll give it away. Maybe it won't. But yeah. So have a little think whilst we continue. Anyway, moving on. We'll go to you first, Sean. I want you to name your... We're all going for 3 centre midfielders, yeah?
Yeah, we are.
Positions. Sean has said before, I don't know if it was on air or off air anymore.
It was
but
off air.
He doesn't think we're going to have the same midfield.
Definitely not. Well, I know we're not.
Well, from that, it sounds like me and Tom are going to be similar to what Sean's gone for. Go on, Sean. Take it away.
So, obviously, we're playing a 4-3-3, but I've gone for an attacking midfield. So, I've gone for Rowney and Shez as like a 2 sitting midfielders. And then I've gone like an attacking midfielder, Josh Wilson.
Okay. No,
Okay.
okay. No,
Okay.
You know what? That's not all that different. Tom,
Okay.
do you wanna see what you've got?
Like, I mean, there was only 3 midfielders I was ever going to pick, and these are the right 3 midfielders. So, Chris Rowney, Sam Sheridan, and Michael Brewster. Like, we've said it on and off air. It's the perfect balance of a midfield for me. You know, you've got everything you need in there: workhorse, battler, and then you've got Sam Sheridan, who's just can ping a pass. You know, he's kind of is that deep lying playmaker, and he's got the ability. Exactly.
Football manager talk. It's Chris Rowney's the box to box, isn't he?
Yeah.
Brewster's the ball winning midfielder, and then Shez is the deep line playmaker.
Deep line, yeah.
You can tell we've played a lot of FM in lockdown.
Great backroom staffers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've gone for exactly the same, Tom. Would you believe? I feel like both of you have gone for, in order to keep Josh Wilson in, which we'll come on to, you've both gone for specific ways to get him in so you can involve someone else up front.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, and I've done the same thing, but just a bit further up the field. So I get why you've said that, Sean. It's not as mad as I thought you were going to say.
No, yeah, I was expecting something mental.
I had beliefs that maybe my name would flash across your head and be like, so yeah, Chris Rowney, Jake Matho, and Sam Sheridan. But no,
Player manager,
He's got the figure according to Clegg.
Clegg doesn't watch this. Anyway, moving on. Right, I'm going to do it where we just name the front 3.
Yeah,
the only reason I'm going to do this is because I think I've gone for it slightly differently to maybe
the wingers
because you could have it like 2 wingers, you could have 2 forwards in a camp. Like, what I've done here is I've kind of taken Sean's idea, but a bit more defensively, because I've gone for the 3 midfielders like Ashton have been playing in recent times with Brewster, Sheridan, Rowney. However, I've then gone for more of a cam / like centre forward type role in Josh Wilson. Then that means that I've got a right forward and a left forward just in front of him, who can slightly go out wide. And I've gone for Louis Almond and Liam Thompson. So it's a bit of a mix up, and it's one of those really where like it's hard because I feel like Louis Almond and Josh Wilson are exceptional as that focal point up front with some wingers.
Yeah.
However, Liam Thompson has been faultless all season. He had a like that red card that was unlucky. But other than that, like he's just been a workhorse. He's may not have scored as many as he wants to, and hopefully that'll be something he'll improve on next season. However, he's just so ever consistent. Like he puts 100% in all the time. Everyone's complimenting. Clegg compliments him all the time. So I don't think I could leave him out because he would do something. Louis Almond has come in and just been like that target man, which is why it's hard to put Josh Wilson there. However, Josh Wilson's our top scorer, and even when he's been there, he scored a cracker. I don't know if I got this right, but did Ullman get injured so then Wilson came in to score that goal that he hit on the volley? Yes. So like what a replacement. What a replacement. However, Wilson does seem to make it in the team even if he isn't up front.
Yeah.
So I've gone for Ullman, Thompson with Wilson just behind. Tom, what have you gone for?
So I've kind of echoed your thoughts on Louis Almond and Liam Thompson. Obviously, I feel Liam Thompson only got the 1 goal this season, but he is that player that I feel kind of like we need more stats to kind of build our argument for him that we just don't have available at this level, because he is just one of them players who I feel just works tirelessly up front and will give everything for the team, and a lot of his work goes under the radar a little bit, similarly to Chris Rowney as well, where their work kind of just isn't shown through typical stats that we have on hand. It is more kind of, you have to
underrated work. Yeah,
exactly. You've got to kind of specifically watch it back on footage or just be targeting them during a game. And again with Louis Ullman, like since he came in, he's phenomenal, isn't he? Like his hold up play is unbelievable. He's the best.
It's the focal point we've needed, isn't it?
Exactly. And I didn't realise how much we needed him till I think it was the Radcliffe game where he had to go off at half time. I think it was because he was ill or got injured or something. But Niall Rodney went on up front after, and it was like we've kind of lost any kind of attacking
momentum.
Yeah, we didn't have anyone to bring everyone else into the game. You know, Niall tried his best, but he's just no Louis Ullman, is he? To be honest, like Louis is a different class. If we've got him next season, we'll be very fortunate because he could easily play at a higher level. And then for my third pick.
Here we go.
It's
just to make sure, like everyone knows, just to remember, like you've got Josh Wilson at the back, haven't you?
I have Josh Wilson at the back in my team. I haven't gone Jordan Slew. Don't worry, I'm not insane. I've gone for Aaron Smith.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel early part of the season he was fantastic. He was. Like, as soon as we lost him to Curzon, you could just tell there was a void in the team.
He had that little patch where he just couldn't stop scoring goals.
Exactly. He only scored 4 goals in the end, but the goals that he did score were, like, unbelievable.
Back-to-back, as well.
Yeah, came off the bench 2 minutes later against FC United.
He did as well. He did
seconds later after coming off.
Okay,
the last game he played, go on.
The Mikolova game where he dribbled through the whole team to score the winning goal when we were down to 10. Like, just stuff like that, like, goes under the radar. And the short amount of time he was there, he was quality. He was just a grade above.
Hopefully he comes back.
I'd love to see him back. I would. I think
everyone would.
But I kind of, then you've got Don McHale, who's kind of come in and done a similar thing.
He did really good on his 2 games. I think he played.
I think they're slightly different, like because he's a pacey winger, whereas Smith's the driving force through the central of midfield.
Yeah,
the central of midfield. That's an interesting way of saying it. Right, Sean.
Yeah, a bit different. I've gone all guns blazing with my team. I've got Wilson in midfield, and then I've got Thompson, Ullman, and Hardcastle.
Okay, explain yourself.
Thompson, obviously a lot of appearances, as we've mentioned before, consistent. He's kind of that underrated forward that strings it together. Louis Ullman, as Tom mentioned, is that focal point, which is just the hold-up play. And then obviously with Wilson in midfield, as I've chosen, he can come and join him for that front two. As Jake mentioned, they've really worked together, bouncing off each other. And then I think Ben Hardcastle, despite I think it's only 1 goal, we've all seen the quality he has. Clegg rates him so highly, and he clearly can do a job on that right. So
very nice. All right, so that is the overall team that we've given from our own opinions. Let me just, before we come back to it and finalise it, we're happy with Hartley. Oh, no, actually, no. We'll come back to that in a minute. Firstly, we'll go through the subs and then we'll finalise our starting 11 for this playoff final.
Nice.
Tom, do you want to kick us off on this one?
Yeah.
So tell us your 5 subs that you'd have. It doesn't have to include a goalkeeper.
It doesn't.
Sound.
None of them would be good enough to make it on this bench anyway. So on
There's
the bench,
1 subscription lost.
On the bench, I've gone John Pritchard, Ben Hardcastle, Billy Sass, Luca Havern, Stephen Thames, and then for a little bit of a surprise package in here,
Jordan Slew.
Yeah. Again, it's not Jordan Slew. It's Jake's dad, Craig Marn.
Oh, Craig Marn. That's
nice. Yeah,
I love Craig Marn.
You know what? Like,
I'm gonna put the photo on because it just is Jake's dad.
No, I must say, like that one's one that actually just went over my head, to be honest. And
he was really good off the bench.
Yeah,
he was.
Like Aaron Smith, that kind of stuff through my fingers as well.
Yeah. Just players like that.
Very nice. Sean, who have you gone for?
So I've obviously got Michael Brewster, who I left out of my midfield, Stephen Thames as well, Connor Hughes, Billy Sass Davis, and JP.
Fair enough. I've gone for Don McHale as well. I feel like he's going to be at the moment. He seems like all of our super subs because he hasn't properly started a game and made an impact. Has he started a game yet?
No, two off the bench.
Both times he's been insane. He's been really good.
He scored a bicy on both, didn't he?
He tried them both, didn't he?
He won a penalty in one of them, didn't he? So
both he won a penalty.
Both games. Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he's.
Wait, was it
a good player to have in the
question himself now.
in next season? He said it now.
I've said it. It's on here. I'm going to have it in the comments.
I've also gone for Ben Hardcastle, which will probably surprise those of you that know me quite well, that he's only made the bench. But he's only made the bench because I feel like it's something Clegg said himself. He's not seen the best of Hardcastle yet.
Yeah, exactly. That's similar.
He's popped up now and again, but I agree. I know we haven't seen the best of Ben yet.
Sure, mate. It'd be dark for that.
I've stolen one of yours, Tom. I've put Aaron Smith on the bench because I completely agree. I haven't put him on starting, but once again, he really did make an impact. Luca Havern, we need some defensive backup, and he is well and truly. He's a defender, and he's well and truly able to fit in when needed. That being said, I mentioned before, the likes of Sam Sheridan could be someone that could fill in if necessary. However, that's more when there's three at the back, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've then gone for Cass.
Nice.
So I put Cass in because I just thought it's nice to have a youngster on the bench, and I feel like it's something that was also mentioned at the Q&A that Ashton did a few weeks ago. Was something that's just you want players on the bench that look really excited and want to be there, and he may not get the game, but he's ready to be there and he's enjoying the fact that he's at least made the bench. And I'm sure Cass wants to play whenever he can, but to have someone there that's happy they're on the bench rather than disappointed they're not on the pitch is something that's important, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Cheers, Gaffer. No worries. Anyway, right, okay, so we've got them. They were just some honourable mentions, really. However, the likes of McHale and Hardcastle, there's plenty of time for them to improve if they're to perform next season, if they're to be here next season. Hopefully they are. Before we announce our mysterious ground, we'll go through the team now. I'll just run through the positions that we have got sorted. We've got Greg Hartley in goal.
Yeah.
We've accepted that Lefudu is going to play right back.
Yeah.
Then we've got Jono Hunt at centre back.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is the central defensive partner that Jono is going to have. Now, I remember I said Billy Sass-Davis. Tom said Josh Wilson to keep him behind the pitch so that he can have strikers up front and players that can fill that position instead. So I appreciate that as well. It works both ways. However, I'm going to give it to you, Sean, to decide because we both overlooked Havern. Sorry, Luca.
I'll probably give it to Billy Sass. I think when
Billy
he played.
Sass-Davis. So we're going to put Billy at the back with Jono Hunt.
Played 4 games and he's made it in. Fuming.
But there is a valid reason there.
I get it. Yeah.
He's made a difference. I don't think we need any decision on left back. As much as I said John Pritchard, you both said Nikki Clay. And to be honest, it's one of those. It's I've put Hardcastle on the bench. You've put McHale on the bench like we have. They could easily make it in next season. There's so much potential there.
Yep.
But from what's happened this season, I'd agree, Nikki Clay.
Yep.
We've all gone for Rowney and Sheridan.
Yeah.
However, 2 of us have gone for Brewster. Sean, are you willing to commit?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a good balanced 3, isn't it? And that's who we were playing with towards the end of the season, so it makes sense.
Okay. We've then all accepted Almond and Thompson. Now, I feel like we don't need to discuss who should be up front then in that final space, given that we've kicked out Wilson from centre back. We've kicked out Wilson now from central attacking midfielder. He's got to fill in up front.
You can't leave him out, so he's got to fit in there, doesn't he?
Hang on. Where's Jordan Slew going to fit in now?
Well, you haven't even gotten on your pitch.
No,
that's not even made your bench. No.
He was my wild card. I was going to throw him in at the last minute.
He's assistant manager.
Yeah, he's
mind games.
Mind games.
But yeah, so we'll all accept Josh Wilson up front. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
okay. So we've got Hartley in goal. Then we've got Lefudu at right back. We've got Nikki Clay at left back. We've got Hunt and Sass-Davis in the central defensive partnership. Then we've got Brewster, Rowney, Sheridan. And then we've got Almond, Wilson, and Thompson. Just a question of thought. Tom, how would you play those front 3?
I think I'd play 2 up front with Thompson just sat behind him.
I agree, yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
Fair enough. Because like it's one of those really where by doing that you're relying quite a lot on the wing backs, aren't you?
Yeah.
Got the Voodoo there though, haven't you? So like we're
Exactly.
set.
And athlete Nikki Clay.
And athlete Nikki Clay, yeah,
Athlete
exactly.
Nikki Clay.
Great. Well, that's been great. I think we've covered that very well. Hopefully no one's in the comments like is disagreeing too much, but if you do have any disagreements, please feel free to say. It's only our opinions. So yeah, before we finish, thank you very much for watching. Before you finish, we're going to go back to Mysterious Ground, and I'm just going to run through the questions again, or the stats that I have. The first one was that this stadium hosts a team who have conceded the most away goals in the league. That doesn't make sense. When they've been playing at home, the away team have scored more goals at this ground than any other.
Yeah.
Second one, they have the third worst home record. I'm not even speaking English anymore. They've got the third worst home record, and 3 teams have come away from this ground with a clean sheet when they have won, and that is Stafford, Nantwich, and Warrington. Only Stafford, Nantwich, and Warrington have come away from this ground. The third worst home ground in the league for form, and only 3 of them have come away with a clean sheet when winning. I'll throw in another spanner in the works.
Oh, here we go.
The 4th team that came away with a clean sheet got a draw, and it was Ashton.
Oh.
Don't say. I think I might have just given it away, but there is the 4th one. Another fun fact is that FC United, when they were getting their ground built, shared the stadium in 2009.
Right, okay.
So are you both confident, or are you both still not sure?
I think now I am. I don't know. I don't know.
I think the main one is the fact that there are 4 teams that have got a clean sheet here. 3 of them have come away with wins: Stafford, Nantwich, and Warrington. One of them has come away with a draw, and that is the Robins.
Okay.
I think I know who it is.
So Tom, after the first clue, did you think Grantham?
Yeah, I thought Grantham.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same here.
I can tell you it's not Grantham.
Because we
that second clue threw it.
Yeah.
Without telling me, there's a big fact about this team or about this ground. Without telling me what the ground or team is, can you tell me anything about it relating to me?
Relating to you?
Did you say it was your favourite game of the season?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you've got it, Sean.
Yeah.
Have you got
Was
it
it
as well,
Staley Bridge?
Yeah.
It was Staley Bridge Celtic, yeah.
Didn't
Do you know the name?
No, that's what threw me off.
Bowerfold.
Oh,
Towerfold.
Bowerfold.
I was going to say. Okay.
Fold. What did you say you were going to say, or did you not know?
I didn't know. I was feeling like there was that FC one that threw me in the end. Because then I was like, is it Hyde? And I was like, we've done Hyde already.
Just thinking we got 0-0s against.
Yeah.
That's my logic.
I mean, 0-0s. We didn't get many, did we?
Exactly.
And when we did, they were game of the seasons, to be honest.
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Fun fact: Grantham are actually they've got one of the better home forms in the league.
We went on beating 4-0.
Yeah.
Oh really? Fair enough. I
that's-
must have been in that game. Must have been
game
one of
to mind,
those
yeah.
that I didn't make it. Anyway, we're waffling away. Thank you very much for watching once again. Hopefully we'll have some more guests on soon, depending on whether Tom can get his finger out. And we'll see. We'll see you very shortly though.
Pin it all on him.
With or without a guest. But thank you very much for watching.